Hello and welcome to Live Stream. This is the show that picks up issues that directly affect you and give voice to your concerns. Well, today we're going to be talking about India's urban nightmares. Our cities that are in shambles, they fall apart at the slightest disturbance, like we've seen in Mumbai over the past couple of days, where the city came to a standstill because of heavy rain. Now, yesterday the Supreme Court blasted the governments of Delhi and Mumbai over garbage, saying that Delhi is being buried under garbage, that Mumbai is sinking, but the government does nothing. Also, a Comptroller and Auditor General report was revealed that has squarely blamed Chennai's municipality and various authorities for the devastating floods of 2015 for allowing unregulated construction. And when it comes to air pollution, 14 Indian cities are in the top 15 in the world according to the WHO. So the question that we're asking you, cities in shambles, why are Indians being forced to live in urban nightmares? Do call us or tweet us on this issue. The numbers there on your screens. Do call in about any issue that you would like to highlight, and we'll be going across to our reporters. Sam will join us from Chennai. Saurabh joins us from Mumbai. Also Vimlendu Jha, environmentalist from Delhi, and Swapna Sundar, lawyer and author and citizen of Chennai, also joining us there. Vimlendu, first I'd like to come to you about what the Supreme Court had to say about Delhi, about how it's drowning under garbage, how it has 3 mountains of garbage. Those are our landfills that have crossed, all limits, really. We've had garbage collapsing and people actually dying because of that. So really, time to really look at the state of our cities and the national capital.
Absolutely, Gargi. So what Supreme Court also said something very, very strongly, that the reason why Supreme Court is getting into issues of governance is because our governments are actually failing, because it doesn't have the desire to do judicial activism that people mostly keep blaming our courts for. There is a law of the land, and that's what the Supreme Court made its observation. It clearly writes in its order that there is a law of the land that needs to be followed, and people who are supposed to be following that rule of land need to be reprimanded. And that's the reason why they clearly asked the Attorney General that who should be held responsible, and whether the chief secretaries of these respective states that did not even care to really appear in the court. So in many, many ways, what we're talking about is a lack of political will, lack of bureaucratic will, and that's the reason why most of the cities of our country are actually collapsing across every front, be it land, be it water, be it air. Like year after year, we've actually seen our landfills on fire. We've seen a landfill collapsing in Delhi last year. Of course, the famous landfill fire in Chembur, Devnar that we've been seeing last couple of years. So in the name of governance, there's only infrastructure, and in many, many ways that infrastructure is at the cost of the environment, be it chopping of trees, be it filling our rivers, be it encroaching upon the mangroves, and that is why our cities are floating in puddle, or actually are under garbage in many, many ways. So very unfortunate scheme of things.
All right, Vimlendu, Swapna, I'll just come to you in a minute. Before that, we have a caller, Amit from Delhi. Amit, go ahead with your question.
Yeah, hi, Gargi. My take on this is, I live in Delhi, instead of BJP and Aam Aadmi Party blaming each other, I think they should better get onto the job. MCD falls under BJP and garbage is their responsibility. And I have a garbage dump right outside my apartment complex. I live in a apartment. And it's full of garbage and it stinks. And very soon rain should start. PWD falls under Aam Aadmi Party, and I haven't still seen silting of grains happening. So we are headed for a disaster, health disaster, as well as commuting is a huge problem.
All right, Amit, I think we're already living through a disaster, and yes, the garbage issue in all our urban centers, waste management is what the Supreme Court really took up yesterday when it blasted Delhi and Mumbai and various other cities, saying that they have no plans for urban waste management. But Swapna, I'd like to come to you next on the issue of that the CAG report that has come out that has squarely blamed the authorities, the municipality of Chennai, as well as various government authorities for those devastating floods of 2015, and they've said it was a man-made disaster. It was because of their negligence that it led to such a situation.
Yes, actually, we've been having rains the last couple of days. In fact, it's raining right now, and we're already 6-7 inches in water. And the sad thing is that nothing has been done since 2015. And if we are to understand, this year we're going to have better rains than what we've had last year, and it's going to be another disaster. I can't understand why no change has occurred at all. No roads have been improved. In fact, the flood road standards have not been implemented. The flood zone planning has not been done. And we don't have a disaster management or disaster relief system in place. And it takes the government a long time to start reacting to the process when it starts happening. And I think the corporation and the government should now not be so defensive. In fact, this is an opportunity. We still have a couple of months to go. I think they should be taking this as a positive opportunity and start working on this. We have the flood water drains are not in place. Almost all the drains are now overflowing. All the drainage and the drinking water is getting mixed. And the sad part is that we'll be suffering in drought for 6 months and in floods for 2 months. And that's sad because a lot of rainwater just gets mixed with such nasty, dirty.
Right, I think that's the tragedy that we all live through with the extremes that India faces and many of our cities face. We also have another caller, this time from Mumbai. Zaki calling from Mumbai. Go ahead with your question.
Ma'am, my question is why Mumbai goes down underwater every monsoon. 4 months before monsoon, they start, repairing the roads, repairing the drainage, everything. But still the same thing going down again and again and again. It's pathetic because my thing is the same contractor does the same jobs and makes a mess of it, and we are in trouble.
Right. Well, let's go across to Saurabh for this. And Saurabh, in fact, the Supreme Court yesterday, when it took Mumbai and Delhi to task, one of the points that they made was it's because of a bad waste management and the garbage that, one of the reasons that we're seeing this flooding in Mumbai every time it rains heavily, that, drains are clogged up with garbage, the rivers, you've had encroachment, and it's causing floods in Mumbai. And we're seeing it year after year, even though Mumbai has the richest municipality.
Well, that's right. And in fact, those questions were actually put to the Guardian Minister for Mumbai, Vinod Tawde, when he held a press conference today. A top-level meeting was held in Mumbai to assess how Mumbai performed during the latest spell of rain and where Mumbai actually struggled to cope with the drainage system. Now, all said and done, well, if we want to cut some slack for the government, you can always argue that, well, the drainage systems are not designed for the amount of rain that actually came down on the city. But beyond that, every monsoon, there have been those 2 or 3 days where Mumbai is completely floods and the city comes to a standstill. Why does that happen? Why haven't we improved our infrastructure to ensure that whatever rainfall that the city gets, even if it's, say, 5 times, 10 times, it should be able to cope? And that's something that's that the authority should be accountable for. Both accountability and, the responsiveness seem to be a little slack. But what is also important to be noted here is that today, when asked about waterlogging, the minister said that out of the 225 spots that have been identified as waterlogging prone spots, 120 have already been fixed, which may be true, but that still leaves 105 places waterlogged every year. And who's going to look after that? And why is it taking so much time to find those permanent solutions? That's the question everyone should be asking.
Right, and Saurabh, roads that were repaired just months ago, completely riddled with potholes already. That just shows the quality of work. And I think corruption really is one of the key causes that we see our cities in such disrepair. We have another caller, this time from Chennai. Prem, go ahead.
Yeah, ma'am, I just want to point out that, regarding the pollution, it is total apathy of the authorities who don't take, proper action, prompt action, resulting in a lot of garbage be thrown around. And even while the dumping, even the dump yards are, it's not been segregated. As the law says, it has to be segregated. Nothing has been done. It's been dumped as it is, as has been picked up by the vehicles, and there's no management at all in that. That is what the point is all about. And it is completely polluting the air, and it gives a bad smell. Local residents are complaining. Chennai also is very bad. You go to the dump yard and see it's horrible. It's a huge mountain. Still, there has to be segregated. Nothing is being done on this. So this has to be a very serious problem. I think in fact, the people also should involve themselves and try to come out with a lot of solutions and try to force them to do the job.
Right, Prem. All right, Prem, making the point there about air pollution, about garbage in our cities. And Vimlendu, really, it's surprising that people don't get more angry over these issues, that when the elections come around, when we vote for local governments, that these are not the issues that are the main talking points during elections and the main, demands by the people to improve air pollution and garbage in our cities.
Absolutely, Gargi. So, every time we talk about cities like Mumbai and Gurgaon and a problem, we use a term called resilience, and we celebrate resilience, and we hide behind that entire phenomena called resilience, or that emotion called resilience. What is actually needed, as you rightly said, is anger. What actually is needed is some kind of a preparation by our institutions that are supposed to be governing us. It's also citizens' responsibility to hold people who are accountable for this. Imagine this conversation is every monsoon after monsoon, crisis after crisis. So we talk about air quality issues when the smog is on our face. We talk about issues of municipal corruption in municipalities, as well as flooding when our streets are flooded. And in between that, there's no known public narrative. So I think it's very, very important for citizens also to realize that we need to be at it. We can't leave it on our judicial bodies, our Supreme Court to govern us, but to really demand that very basic right that we have on issues of governance and hold them accountable and responsible and vote responsibly thereafter.